I bet I can make a video about the Gary's incident too. Nah. Oh, you think you're the master of gal drops, don't ya? Well, why would we need to do a video on gal drops then? I'll tell you why. Because for someone who says they're so good at it, you make a lot of rookie mistakes, Commander. Gal drops are one of the most used tactics for mobilizing at the warp gate and inserting into a battle. However, so many people think it's so cut and dried that they end up screwing it up for the whole platoon. So what's the secret thing that we're all missing out on then? Well, let's start with the number one thing that people do that screws over a perfectly good gal drop. Gal drops need to be fast. Yes, you want to get as many people in as possible so you don't leave with like 2 people in your gal, but you lose a lot of steam waiting for 3 players to get in the warp gate and get to the gal and lift off. If you sit around for too long, the enemy is going to take advantage of your absence and dig in. Heck, most of the time, if I'm on the attack and I notice the enemy has unexpectedly left, I'm expecting a gal drop and I'll tell all my soldiers to pull some AA just in case. Time is of the essence when you do these drops. You don't have time to sit around and wait for some utter to get away from the biolab and meet you at the warp gate. Okay, so the obvious is covered. What else? I know this is going to sound counterintuitive, but try not to fill up your gals all the way. Just go with me on this one. You shouldn't be doing gal drops so often that every person needs to save up their airspace money for the next one happening, and rotate your gal pilots or even the people that pull your gals and have designated pilots for those pulls. This is benefits. More gals means more points of insertion that you can attack your enemy with, and also it's less catastrophic if one gal gets shot down. Sometimes if I've got the extra pilots on hand in my platoon, I'll even run a decoy gal ahead of all the gals that are meant to drop troops so that they'll shoot at the first gal they see, and all the troop-bearing gals will go by unharmed for the most part and get their payload to the battle without too much damage. Heck, sometimes that method even works. Now don't get me wrong, if a gal fills up, it'll fill up. But it's not the end of the world if you have 5 or 6 gals to a platoon of 4 squads. Now what about actually flying over the drop point? Well, for one, why do you never bring any sort of air cover? I have seen too many galaxy convoys that are completely defenseless and just praying that no one notices an entire platoon is coming at them in giant sky whales. Even a couple libs or ESFs make all the difference in the world if you are trying to make a drop. That air cover will sponge away gunfire because they'll be more worried about the things that will actively shoot at them, and they can also intercept enemy ESFs and libs that come at your forces. Air cover will also help you hang on to 1 or 2 of your galaxies if you're really lucky, and then you'll have a means of extraction to hot drop to another nearby base. Although in all honesty, you're really lucky if you have 1 galaxy that's got a sliver of health left at the end of a drop, air cover or not. But having that air cover really does help your chances. Alrighty, so the gal drop was surprisingly successful and the objective is on the way to being completed. What do you do? Come on. Please. Let me have some faith in you. Oh fine, I'll tell you. How about you remember to set up spawn points? Too many times I have seen flawless drops ruined by the fact that no one bothered to go hack a terminal and get a Sunday or so much as be bothered to put their beacon down. It should be your first order of business to secure some sort of spawning capabilities for your platoon. Otherwise, you're wasting your time with your drop and you should just stick to rushing biolabs with pub squads. So let's review. Don't dick around at the warp gate. You're giving the enemy time to dig in when you do so. Bring an extra gal or 2. You get more drop points, and it's not as bad when one gets shot down. Bring air cover. Remember to set up spawn points as soon as you can. Don't waste your time and your efforts. That does it for this week. Remember what you learned here, and try not to get annihilated in the air. I've still got a sliver of faith in you, commanders of Araxis. I know you can do some better gal drops than what I've been seeing lately. If you like this video, or you just like me in general, remember to click that like button and share it to all your friends so they know you have the tactically superior taste. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can see all the Planetside 2 videos I make whenever I make them, and have a new lesson in tactics every Saturday. Until next time.